Hello, I'm Miss Keynes and I'm an assistant principal here at Guilsborough Academy. One of my responsibilities is to oversee our intervention provision to support our students in making the best possible progress. Last year, we devised and implemented our first ever tuition programme, and you will have received a letter inviting your child to participate in this year's programme. The following presentation outlines the context of our tuition programme, as well as its structure and benefits of small group work. You will hear from myself and Mrs. Aveling, who is our tuition coordinator. And should you wish to get in touch with us, you can find our email address on the final slide. We're really excited to offer your child this opportunity, and we look forward to working with them over the upcoming weeks.
Hello, my name is Mrs. Aveling. I'm responsible for coordinating small group tutoring for students in Guilsborough Academy in order to reduce the negative impact that COVID-19 has had on education and attainment. The past 2 years have had a detrimental impact on education, and we do not want the learning of any young person in Guilsborough Academy to suffer as a result of the COVID-19 restrictions. We ran a very successful tutoring programme last year to students, and we're relaunching a similar programme this year to cover students in years 8, 9, 10 and 11. Your child has been allocated a series of after-school tutoring sessions as detailed in the letter you received from myself, and the following PowerPoint has been generated to provide you with some of the key information about these tutoring sessions. Thank you.
School closures in 2020 and 2021 had a significant impact on students' educational opportunities as well as their progress. Schools closed to the majority of students for 22 term weeks, and despite reopening in September 2020, high levels of absence caused by the coronavirus continue to impact their educational progress. Researchers found that the impact of school closures and high absent rates has reversed the progress made in the last 10 years to narrow the progress gap between those students eligible for pupil premium funding and those who are not. An example of this progress gap is evident within reading levels, which we know are vital to academic and life success. By the time schools reopened in September 2020, secondary school students had lost 1.9 months in reading progress, which widened to 2.4 months by June 2021. As a result of lost learning, the government announced a catch-up premium for schools to utilise in best supporting their students to make progress. This premium is used to deliver additional tuition for students to increase their access to high-quality teaching. Here at Guilsborough Academy, we devised and delivered our first ever tuition programme between February and July 2021. During this time, 34% of our students in years 7 to 13 received small group tuition. Students that received the additional tuition were identified via the correlation between their working at grades and target grades or target flight paths. National research has found that small group tuition has an average impact of 4 months additional progress for students, showing the effectiveness of this intervention. Upon analysing our own data, we are thrilled to say that our students that received tuition made approximately half a grade more progress than those students who did not. Your child has been invited to receive additional small group tuition this academic year. You'll have received an introductory letter that outlines the subject in which they have been offered tuition, their provider, time and location of each session. The tuition programme will run for 15 term weeks for 1 hour each week and will start the week beginning the 22nd of November until the 21st of March 2022. To ensure that our additional tuition is effective in supporting in-class learning and is personalised for our students' needs, our heads of departments design the scheme of work that is followed by staff delivering tuition. Myself and Mrs. Aveling then quality assure each tuition session by checking their plans in advance, as well as visiting sessions and watching recorded content. If your child has been allocated online tuition by the external company called My Tutor, myself and Mrs. Aveling work very closely with the provider to ensure that their tuition sessions are as personalised as possible for our students. Having worked with My Tutor for several years, we have a strong and productive working relationship. And whilst it can be daunting for students to work with an unknown member of staff, we have found their confidence usually grows after the first few sessions. We recommend watching the information videos within the tuition folder to learn more about their online workspace. Each tuition session, whether it is delivered by Guilsborough staff or My Tutor, will cover key content from previous or current learning, essential exam skills and assessment opportunities so that the students can receive personalised feedback on how to make progress. Having devised and delivered our first tuition programme last year and being thrilled with the academic progress made, we were even more pleased by the vast amount of positive student and parent voice that we received. Just over 3/4 of the students that answered our survey felt that additional tuition improved their progress, and the second pie diagram shows how frequently they receive feedback on how to make their progress. Pleasingly, the most common what went wells, according to the student voice, was receiving feedback on how to make progress, the opportunity to work collaboratively in small groups with their peers, receiving more support, and the opportunity to complete additional work. You can also see a selection of the parent voice that we received, with many parents of Year 11 students pleased with the opportunity for additional tuition following their child's PPE.
Students have been signed up for 15 tutoring sessions. Each one will be 1 hour and will take place one evening per week after school. In some cases, we were able to staff these sessions using staff from our school. In other instances, students have been signed up for online tutoring on a website, mytutor.co.uk, which we have used successfully for many years to support learners in Guilsborough Academy. For those students doing sessions with Guilsborough staff, the sessions will either be in school at the end of the school day, or they will be delivered remotely via Microsoft Teams between 4:30 and 5:30. Those students that are doing online tutoring with mytutor.co.uk, their sessions will be delivered remotely by an experienced tutor between 4:30 and 5:30 each day.
I've already discussed the national and local research into the progress impacts of additional tuition, but in addition to this, tuition provides the opportunity to revisit learning and therefore embed content and skills into the student's long-term memory. This is particularly beneficial when tackling challenging content or misconceptions. Furthermore, additional assessment opportunities enable the students to receive personalised feedback on how to make progress. We've also found that some students find it easier to ask questions to clarify their understanding in small group settings as opposed to larger classes. And finally, the nature of tuition develops students' study skills and independence, which are important life skills. Upon analysing our tuition programme last academic year, the following list shows some of our top tips for successful tuition. These are the themes that we will work with students to develop, and it would be brilliant if you could also discuss them at home. Firstly, attend all tuition sessions to maximise the opportunity. Secondly, engage with the content and the tutor by completing the activities that are set and answering questions. Thirdly, ask for help if you are unsure, to take ownership of your learning. And 4, organise your work. Some students prefer to write their tuition work in a notepad or exercise book, whilst others prefer to work on their laptops or tablets. If students are completing work electronically, it would be beneficial for them to save it under a tuition folder on their desktops so they can find it easily each session. Our tuition programme will start the week beginning the 22nd of November, and we will launch this programme with students the week beginning the 15th. This will take place during registration periods where they will attend a small group workshop to learn the details of their tuition opportunity, top tips for success, and who they can speak to in school should they have any questions at any point throughout the tuition programme. We are really keen for our students to understand that additional tuition is part of their Guilsborough Academy journey. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact myself or Mrs. Aveling on the email addresses shown here. We are really excited for your child to join our tuition programme, and we will continue to support them by monitoring their attendance and progress throughout the programme. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation.